I'm literally shaking. Like,
holy you're unemployed! These people hear the nonsense spiritual slop hogwash that she spits, and they connect with it because they have like no actual role models, and then they apply this advice to their real life, get no actual value from it, yet they just still watch for some reason. Gold digger gets cheated on. So she's the gold digger, what I'm guessing.
I heard that you don't know how to get spoiled by a man. I know that you guys need my help. That's why I'm here.
Right. The Wizard Liz is here to help women improve their relationships. As if there weren't enough low-quality people in the dating pool, we have the spoiled girly movement making things worse. A movement that is full of sex workers and rad femmes who hate men, so they have no problem abusing or manipulating them.
Make your man believe that either your friend, your sister, I don't know, some female that you know is getting treated so well by her boyfriend, by her partner, by her husband. Oh, he just bought her this and that. See, how men are is competitive. They're very competitive. So if you tell a man that your friend is being taken care like this, then their competitive nature comes up and they're like, okay, this is what I'm competing with.
Okay, if you want to compare me to other men and talk about how they're better than me, then I'm going to tell you about how all of your friends are more attractive than you. Just so I can...
I'll tell you something, and it really boils down to this. If you're a guy and you want to be in a relationship, you should know what you want. And I think specifically with guys, it really comes down to three things. I want some head, a comfortable bed, and like a nice dinner. That's really it, you know? That's it. I don't think it goes beyond that. If you're nice, you enjoy watching some shows, going on cute dates, you have similar interests, I think all that stuff is good, but reality is the actual day-to-day operations, if you're just getting a few things from your girlfriend, honestly, as a guy, it doesn't really matter. Like you'll pay for all the dates, everything. If you just get like a nice, you know, some loyalty, some good food, you know, some sex. That's really it.
Activate your competitive nature and turn you into the best version of yourself. So this is sort of the modus operandi of how these spoiled girly princess treatment channels like the Wizard Liz operate. They run under the guise of women's self-improvement with videos like, study yourself to become confident, or how to become extremely seductive, which...
Oh my goodness. Yo, this person has 8 million subscribers. 8 million? Women will do anything. Women will support anything.
Granted, sometimes make decent points, but those decent points are mixed in with some of the most toxic relationship advice, where not only do people like the Wizard Liz make women undateable, but will also actively give advice designed to poison relationships that are already ongoing.
And it's crazy that we were so worried about Fresh and Fit this whole time. Yo, those two goofballs got destroyed by the whole internet. Meanwhile, this 8 million sub demon is just running rampant. This is a threat level 5. Also, yeah, how is she a gold digger with 8 million subs? Aren't you making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month? Why do you need to dig for gold? You have all of it. Where are you gonna find it? Some fucking like Sam Altman? Some AI CEO? I don't think they want these like 20-year-old YouTube stars. Ironically enough, what ends up happening is when you reach a certain level of fame, you want to find a woman who's like not famous at all. You want to find someone who's just like off the radar because she's gonna find what you have infinitely more valuable. If famous women date famous men, you know, they already have a certain expectation for the way that life should go because they're famous. So you can't really give them anything special.
But will also actively give advice designed to poison relationships that are already ongoing and may be perfectly fine.
And if you are already in a relationship and your partner, he didn't spoil you yet and you want him to start spoiling you, just tell him.
She has an accent. This is the most Eastern European thing I can have. Of course she has an accent. Of course. This is some... Oh man, I want to make some stereotypes right now. Probably like, what is that one country? It's going to be like near Estonia. It's going to be like one of these countries where these women are just, they want to marry rich and that's their entire goal in life.
Like, hey,
she's Czech.
I really would appreciate it if you gave me some money. Like
Latvia? It might be Latvian.
An allowance.
Prague, Serbia. Serbian. It's Serbian. No, it's not Serbian, but yes, this is a thing. This is definitely a thing.
Small if he has never ever spoiled you. Like,
Romania,
can you
Lithuania.
pay, like, for my car to get it fixed?
Oh, so you want a little allowance from your boyfriend like you're a 10-year-old. Okay, I'm a believer in equality, so if we're going to make the relationship completely transactional and I'm now required to do extra, what are you going to do extra in return? Nothing. The answer is nothing. These women think their presence around you is inherently valuable.
I was warned from these women at a very young age because I used to sit down and watch I almost said My 600 Pound Life, but it's another TLC show. It was called 90 Day Fiancé, and I learned very fast that women from other countries would date morbidly obese, multi-millionaire American men because they would just give them like ridiculous amounts of money to spend on either body augmentation or just ridiculous shit like jewelry, clothes, and I realized like, it's interesting that all these women have like the same accent. I should probably stay away from them, and they all kind of like look like this. And then you do some digging and it's like, oh, they're all from Eastern Europe. Okay, noted.
So they shouldn't have to be pleasant or do anything nice for you if you get them that Gucci bag. And not to say that the manosphere doesn't preach similarly toxic relationship values under the guise of self-improvement content.
Yeah, but the reality is, these people are still not 8 million sub creators. I thought Fresh and Fit was huge. I didn't know that 8 million sub Princess Liz has infinitely more subs. This is like 8 times the subs.
But the problem with both is that they're lying to you and selling you a fantasy of what the opposite sex is like or should be like because they know it will make them money. In the case of the manosphere, women should permanently have their mouth sewed up and let you cheat on them all the time. And if you're a spoiled girly, then you need a golden retriever man who is in his divine masculine.
Damn, this is Manifestel. I remember covering her. She's chopped.
And showers you with money constantly. Well, here's your golden retriever. Anyway, I've been pretty outspoken in multiple videos about how I think the gold digger trend is very toxic, is poisoning women, and is making them not worth marrying or even asking out on a date. So in response to that, several months ago, women started going into my videos that were about the wizard Liz and said, "You're so wrong. Liz is engaged now and is about to get married. You're just jealous because she's happy."
This is not clickbait. It's very real. I am getting married and I am engaged. My fiance is Landon, born and raised in Texas, Dallas, Texas.
That's where he's from. That's where Think
20
Before You Sleep is from. He probably knows him.
25. He's 1 month older than me. This situation just proves to me even more how I'm always being guided and how you have to look out for the signs in life and how manifestation and setting your energy onto something really attracts.
Holy shit. This is 8 million subscribers. It's really just setting in how slop this is. None of this is coherent. This is just nonsense. This is just like feely word salad bullshit. It's just spiritual nonsense. And what I'm being guided and attracted to the energy, none of it actually makes any sense. You found some guy, you fell for him, he probably sweet talked you, shout out bro, and you put a ring on it.
Guided and how you have to look out for the signs in life.
Like what signs? Like what does this mean? Like a big bank? Can you explain what the signs are? And what signs really drew you to this young man?
And how manifestation and setting your energy onto something really attracts.
What energy did you set on what? And what, because of that, did you attract?
So she's engaged to a 25-year-old Texas guy named Landon, and they're such a great couple. Look, they film TikToks together. They also go on trips to Japan to see Jujutsu Kaisen, look at Hello Kitty merch, and shop at the Gucci store.
So me and Landon are shopping in Gucci right now. He said I can get whatever I want.
They also really seem to speak highly of each other.
The one thing I love the most about Landon is how smart he is. Like, this is no joke. His brain is like insane. If I were to describe a man that really knows how to be a man in a non-toxic way and knows how to respect a woman, I would literally describe you.
The wizard.
Does she not make more money than him? I don't know what he does, but I would assume she's probably making more than him. But maybe he does some crazy shit. They look so uncomfortable with each other.
And knows how to respect a woman.
Yeah, I mean, this is some like, I look like I'm being held hostage type situation. Yeah, he doesn't look too comfortable, I'd agree.
I would literally describe you.
The wizard Liz is the most beautiful girl in the entire world. The dab.
They look like they're perfect for each other, and the fans love it as we get to see a different side of Liz who is happy instead of stuck up and angry all the time like she usually is in her videos.
I want to film a TikTok.
Okay, what are we doing?
So, I have to introduce to you guys my current husband.
Current.
So we met.
What is it?
He's a Fortnite YouTuber. He talks about him later. Is he actually a Fortnite YouTuber? That's so funny. So he actually might be making a shitload of money, eh?
Wait, your current husband?
Yes.
No, baby. No, I'm your forever husband.
No, that's factual. You have to talk factual because they don't understand, you know?
So
You have to
factual.
say like currently right now.
But you're currently and forever my wife.
I mean, you can't argue with the results. She did end up getting married to her current husband. It looks like I've been wrong about the gold digger trend, and there are golden retriever guys out there who are in their perfect divine masculine, just waiting to swoop in and get a girl like Liz. And they've been married for a while at this point, so why don't we just take a look at Liz's Instagram and see how that's going. Here's a story that says,
I'll never create a fake narrative for social media. I'll never preach anything. Landon decided to make a Snapchat account and reach out to a girl to meet up. He was just with me in London, made a whole book about how much he loves me. Anyways, the girl reached out to me, to my friend today, and showed us the evidence. He called the relationship fake. Meanwhile, my cats are with him in Dallas. All my stuff is there in our apartment. And oh, I'm 4 months pregnant. He says he's incredibly sorry, but he honestly does. Honestly, I feel like I don't know him at all. I feel stupid at ignoring the signs and the dreams. Yeah.
Landon decided to make a Snapchat account and reach out to a girl to meet up. He called the relationship fake. Meanwhile, my cats are with him in Dallas in our apartment, and oh, I'm 4 months pregnant. Wow, he made moves to cheat on her in record time. They weren't even together for a year. Liz
2 million likes! 2.5 million likes!
Found out because the girl Landon was texting contacted her, and the rest is history. At some point, the messages were posted to Landon's Instagram account. It's hard to tell what happened with high accuracy because these two keep deleting their social media posts, but I think people are saying that Liz got access to his account and then posted pictures of the girl's phone. The messages start out with Landon asking if this girl is still in Dallas. I'm guessing this is someone he has known for a while, and immediately she is standoffish. He then says, "Do you have plans?" And she responds with, "Aren't you married?" That's when he starts saying that the marriage is fake and he is looking for friends that are female to hang out with that he believes are single while Liz is away in a different country. Landon continues to spend several messages saying that he and Liz are not legally married, which I'm going to choose to believe because they didn't have a wedding. They haven't really talked about the marriage.
Bro, it's crazy because this fucking dumbass has no idea that this girl isn't even into him. How are you not reading this? She doesn't seem interested at all. What is this? It's a complicated long distance internet thing, but I'm not married. So she's more interested in whether the relationship is real or not than actually this guy itself. She's into the content, not you, fucking dumbass. How about you like pick up your fucking head, understand what you're doing, and say, okay, maybe it's not worth it. Because cheating is wrong, and I don't think you should cheat, and he's cheating. But he's not even like actually cheating. She's not even into it.
Married, which I'm going to choose to believe because they didn't
like imagine throwing it all away for a girl who doesn't even want you.
A wedding. They haven't really talked about the marriage process at all. And Liz has been pretty open about the fact that she is okay with lying to people to boost her reputation.
Do not tell a man that your exes treated you badly. The way men think is, I have to do a little bit more than the ex. In that way, I'm like a little better. So if you tell him, oh, my ex used to beat me up and abuse me, then he will think, oh, okay, if I just don't abuse her, I'm the good guy, okay? So what I recommend you do is always tell him, oh yeah, my exes, they always used to take care of me. Like I was always financially taken care of, all these things. You have to tell a man that. And maybe later down the line when you're already in a relationship, you can tell him like how it really was if you want to tell about your exes and you can open up. But
I don't think this is what people think, because by this logic, if you tell a man that your previous relationship, you were like, you know, pinned down every single night and there were things that were happening that you were not okay with, you're basically insinuating that as long as he didn't do that, then he finds that he's okay with what he's doing. I don't think that's true. I don't think that we relate to, or I don't think there's a comparison between what you're doing and the previous guy in the relationship. She's cooking with this. No, she's not. This is just wrong.
especially in the beginning stages when you guys are dating, do not say this.
Right, great. So you think it's okay to misrepresent yourself in a relationship until a person is too emotionally attached to say otherwise. And Landon just gave back the same energy that you give to men by misrepresenting himself until you had strong emotional attachments. That seems fair to me, but the fans are pretty upset about this whole thing.
I'm convinced that all men cheat at this point. Just woke up to the most devastating news. The wizard Liz just posted that her fiance Landon cheated on her while she is 4 months pregnant.
I'm so totally freaked.
Holy shit, dude. These people like hear the nonsense spiritual slop hogwash that she spits and they connect with it because they have like no actual role models, and then they apply this life to their this advice to their real life, get no actual value from it, yet they just still watch for some reason.
Out.
Oh my fucking god, I'm literally shaking. Like
Holy fuck, you're unemployed! This is crazy. I'm literally fucking shaking, guys. This is the craziest thing that's ever happened in my life. I'm literally shaking. Women do not say, this is serious, you should listen. They preface something with, I'm literally shaking. You can never just say, yeah, this is serious, you guys should listen to what I'm about to say. It's, you guys are not gonna believe what I have to say, I'm literally shaking, and I've been shaking since I woke up this morning, and I haven't been able to stop shaking, and I haven't taken my medication. If I didn't take my medication, I would still be, dude, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Say what you want to say. It's never this serious.
Fuck men at this point. Literally fuck men. Men literally have no boundaries.
Now, despite Liz's fans being upset, honestly, I have no sympathy for her at all. I mean, I feel bad for the child that these two retards produced. I'm sorry that he or she now has to grow up in a broken family. But the reason I don't feel bad for Liz is because of all the terrible and sociopathic advice that she gives. Like that time she told her audience to break up with the guy if their relationship is too comfortable or too stable. Well, you wanted some instability and you're okay with lying to people, so this is what you get. Enjoy the chaos. Speaking of investment, Liz goes on to say in her Instagram story that she will be selling her $100,000 engagement ring. But to go even further, Liz edited some of the descriptions of her Instagram videos, and one of the edits says that he spent almost $1 million on her throughout the relationship. Holy shit. I believe they were together for only 10 months. I mean, who screwed over who? Not to say that cheating isn't bad, but I do want to point out the fact that Liz can just rattle off that number means she is constantly tallying up what people have done for her, and relationships to her are just completely transactional. And this favor counting is something that you can see her doing in a lot of her videos.
I used to also be the person where I go above and beyond for people's birthdays and whatever, and I really put so much effort into doing that. And then I realized when it comes to my birthday, these same friends of mine wouldn't do the same thing for me at all. Like, it was so disrespectful, and I felt so bad because I was like, I put so much effort into your birthday, you don't feel the same way about me. So I stopped doing that. Now I give them what they give me.
A little life advice, guys. If you only do things purely because you want something in return, then you're going to find yourself around a lot of shallow and awful people. Liz is very self-centered, and the reason she constantly complains about having bad relationship partners and bad friends is because she doesn't actually consider the needs of others. She only does things for people because she wants something from them. And this is what I mean when I say that Liz gives a lot of awful advice that will pathologize the audience into being terrible relationship material, or just flat out blackpill them with how people treat her because of her bad choices. When the reality is that the reason why this stuff happened to Liz is not because men are evil, it's because she's not that good of a partner or a friend from a moral standpoint, and because she is terrible at recognizing a number of red flags. In fact, originally I was going to say this stuff back when she announced the engagement, but I chose to make a video on a different gold digger named Manifestel instead. I typically don't like doing topics back to back that are too similar. That being said, there were just so many weird things about how Liz described Landon from a guy's perspective. But before we go back to the engagement video, let's talk about Landon's backstory. How did he get his money? Well, he began as a Minecraft.
Oh. Wait, why do I feel like I've seen this guy's content? Landon MC, 3 million subscribers.
YouTuber, and then moved to Fortnite.
Minecraft YouTubing, yep. That's an additional charge, buddy. Now we gotta charge you with cringe as well.
Let's just look at his most popular videos, and number 4, giving Pokemon the Galaxy skin in Fortnite from a few years back.
This is peak. I know you don't want to admit it, but this is peak. This is awesome. F in the chat for broke boys. Oh man, Fortnite and Minecraft slot, probably fucking printed. Let's check out his channel. I'm gonna give you a rough estimate on how much he made in total. Landon MC, let's do some investigation. Oh my goodness, 385 million total channel views. Okay, so he's probably made over $1 million, well over $1 million. And he's probably had like some support a creator code and those shit. I mean, that shit's just like actually, you just turn the sink on and money comes out.
Back.
I'm gonna send him 15. I'm gonna say, hey Pokey, I don't know if this donut will pop up, but I have a surprise for you. All right, so send it in the dono. Will this thing even pop up? Oh, I think that's my dono.
Hey Pokey, DIDK, if this dono will pop up, but I have a surprise for you, _carrot.
I'm dying of secondhand cringe here. He's all nervous about his donation, and she has a face that says WTF when she sees it. I know he's like 19 or 20 here, but he seems to still be buying women as his main strategy, so I think it's still relevant. This is so pathetic. He's supposed to be like friends with her, but he has to donate to her stream to get her attention before he can call her?
All right, so there's 2 ways I can give this to you. I can either, first way, I could log into your account, probably not the best thing, or I could mail it to you.
Okay, I think it's better to mail it just because I don't know if it's, I don't want to get banned by Epic. I don't know if you're allowed to account share.
Could you send me your address? Would you mind?
Yes, I will message it to you right now.
Okay, awesome, dope. Wow, was I nervous, dude. I'm such
This guy seems gay.
a nervous wreck, man. Okay.
Liz, come on. You got engaged to a tier 3 Pokimane simp? Holy shit. I thought she had high standards. I mean, it's not like she didn't know about this video. It's at the top of the list. I know how women like to become little detectives and snoop on the people they're in a relationship with, and I don't blame them for doing that. They're just trying to make sure they aren't dating some crazy stalker. But okay, now that we know a little bit more about Landon, let's talk about the obvious.
Should have known what she was getting into. Well, I don't think that there's any, like, red flags. Oh, shit. What's the red flag? Like, he's a Fortnite YouTuber? That's really not even that bad.
Probably.
Like, I think, honestly, considering, like, how fucked the economy is, he's made over $1 million doing content. That's great. And he's how old? Like, 20? I think that's impressive. Like, honestly, I wouldn't view that as a red flag at all. I'd view that as someone who's, like, ambitious and entrepreneurial. I mean, the content's cringe, but it's like, would you rather make cringe Fortnite content and become a millionaire or hit the oil rig?
Not the best thing. Or
tier 3 relationship with, and I don't blame them for doing that. They're just trying to make sure they aren't dating some crazy stalker. But okay, now that we know a little bit more about Landon, let's talk about the obvious red flags. For starters, let's do
the pokey stuff raises an eyebrow for sure. What, like they were friends or something? Do you think he got up in there with like swimwear? I don't think so. I don't think he had it in him. I mean, look how nervous he was. He's like, hey guys, I'm literally so fucking nervous talking to Pokey. I don't think that, I mean, like, he wasn't fermenting shit. What do you think, he got up in there and planted that seed? I mean, I don't know how good he was at Fortnite, but I don't know if he was like, you know, I do think that there's a relationship between becoming really good at Fortnite and becoming really bad at having sex or getting bitches. I don't know what gaming YouTuber is supposed to be good at sex, but I certainly know being a Fortnite content creator, you know, you're making content, you're not making kids. You're a content creator, not a child creator. You're not fermenting shit, okay? You're not squeezing out yogurt. Maybe with your hand at your desk, but not in a woman. No, he's definitely stuck in the friend zone with her. Oh, for sure. He quit YouTube to become a CEO/founder of an augmented reality company. Yeah, centimillionaire, for sure.
The math. The
centimillion? Nah, probably just decimillion.
Relationship was roughly 10 months long, and she said she was 4 months pregnant, meaning they decided to have a baby after only dating for like 6 months. Like I said, these two are very stupid. This was a very irresponsible choice for two people who barely know each other. The second thing we can do some math on is the fact that the engagement was announced 7.5 months before the breakup, meaning they got engaged like 2 or so months after getting together. Now, let me clarify.
Wow, 2 months. Feisty. Yeah, have you guys ever heard of the 3-month rule?
Clarify this for the normies who don't research TikTok for a living. There's this trend where TikTok girls say, if he wanted to, he would.
Okay, well, he's not going to mention it, or maybe he will, but the 3-month rule is basically the idea that you do not know if a relationship is truly something that you want or is good or if you like the person only like after 3 months. I'm not saying it could go wrong after 3 months, but if it goes wrong before the 3 months, like really wrong, then no chance. Or it's the idea that like someone will want to break up after 3 months or they'll get tired of it or whatever bullshit. I thought it was the 4-month rule. No, it's 3 months.
Which is sort of a way of shaming guys.
Or is there a rule for every month? No, I don't think so.
Being in a relationship for like 5 years without proposing. And I mean, fair enough. Women shouldn't be burning major segments of their young life waiting for a ring. But oftentimes the if he wanted to, he would mentality is used as a justification for super quick engagements just to have the title of wife, and not because the relationship is good. So as a warning to people who are young...
Or maybe he doesn't know if he wants to yet. Maybe he will want to after, you know, more info is revealed and more dating takes place.
It takes time to get to know someone. Anyone can put up a facade for a few weeks or a few months, but once you hit that 6-month point or that year point, it gets pretty difficult to pretend to be someone else. So you should be waiting for at least that long before a proposal, and longer if you're under 25. This is all important to point out because my first reaction to Landon when I heard about the engagement last year was, this guy is nuts and he's not mentally... In the engagement video, Liz describes how they texted a couple times over the past 3 years.
Bro, she's fucking iced out. What? That's literally a Rolex. That's a fucking Rollie. It's an iced out Rollie. This has diamonds in it. This watch is worth more than what I make in a year.
And finally got together after...
Fucking privileged bitch.
Randomly seeing each other.
I'm actually... Bro, that sounded so, like... I mean, that's mean. That's mean. But she is.
They're at the airport. Here's the story of that airport encounter.
All of a sudden, I decided,
I don't know, like, my husband said that he wanted to marry after like a month. That was 10 years ago. So you've been married for 10 years?
We book a trip to...
Damn, that's lucky for you.
Santorini with my friends. We had a flight to Santorini, but there was a stop in Athens.
Bro, I want to go on a trip. I gotta make more money. I really need to get rich. This is just telling me that I need to get rich. OMG, Acheeto, you sounded so black-pilled. No, I'm not black-pilled. I just need to make more money. I just need to get rich, that's all.
Because I had booked last minute and all the flights were full, okay? They're full. So, me and my friends, we go to the airport and mind you guys, I'm wearing a cap. that's like up until here. You can barely see, you can see like this of my nose, and I'm wearing a mask, okay? No one could recognize me. I think probably people couldn't even recognize what gender I was. I'm walking in the airport and we stop in Athens. Me and my friend, we quickly go get like some food and stuff. Me and her were sitting and I'm like, I pulled the mask a little bit just to eat my food. This is how much you can see of my face, okay? Like nothing. I'm sitting and all of a sudden I hear Liz. I look up and I'm like, Landon. And guys, I do not know how he recognized me.
Is this how they met?
I do not know how I recognized him. I've never seen this guy in my life, never in real life. I don't know what he looks like, and he definitely didn't look like how he used to look 3 years before. That's the only time I saw his picture. So he's like, yeah, I'm going back to America, but he's like, I forgot my bag where you were sitting. That's why I came back for my bag. And then he starts telling me about why he's there, because he lives in America. Like, what are the odds of us meeting each other in an airport in Athens? What are the odds, guy? Like, I don't live in Europe. He lives in America. Like, that's crazy. Guys, can you imagine the coincidence here? You know, look how divinely guided that is.
Liz, this guy is so obviously stalking you. That was immediately my first thought when I heard this story several months ago, and apparently everyone else thought that too. Like, that is a crazy number of random chance events occurring together. They both happen to be traveling on the same day to a random part of the world where neither of them live. They both randomly got connecting flights at the same...
Do you guys think that he was stalking her, or do you guys think that it was random chat? I'm actually curious.
Airport at the same time. He randomly recognizes her despite the fact that she is completely covered. I mean, these are movie levels of unlikely events occurring together. Doctor Strange gives a better chance for the Avengers beating Thanos than the actual odds of Landon seeing Liz on that day by chance. I mean, I am surprised.
Is there math to back that up, or is he just trolling? Because I actually don't know what the math on that would be. I mean, it's just rare.
So this wasn't a huge red flag for someone who is a public figure. And if there's one thing I know about women on the internet, it's that they always have stalkers who know an uncomfortable amount of information about them. Probably the biggest privilege of being a male on the internet is that you don't have to deal with this anywhere near to the extent that...
I think he probably knew that where she would be because of her socials. Oh, true. That's probably right.
Women do. And the fact that Landon was a Pokemon simp and the painted fingernails makes it even more suspicious. I don't know, maybe she didn't see that he's a stalker because her therapist is a BetterHelp therapist.
I would love to mention that BetterHelp is a paid partner of this video.
I want to say a huge thank you to BetterHelp. BetterHelp.
Jokes aside, Liz...
Yeah, she's printing, though.
Did you even watch this video back after you posted it? Again, I'm not the only one who said this guy sounded like a stalker, and a part of the reason why is stuff like this.
I felt like my whole life was falling apart, and I even uploaded about it. You guys saw me crashing out on my YouTube channel. Even people were commenting like, this girl is losing her mind, this and that, and I truly felt like I was losing my mind.
She's saying this crash out happened after a breakup. Great, so now he knows that you're emotionally vulnerable and single, which makes you the perfect victim to be manipulated. This is why he started mirroring all of her beliefs and saying exactly what she wanted to hear when he talked to her at the airport.
And what's even crazier is like he told me like stories where he was like, Liz, I think I really manifested you, because he was like, when I used to go through breakups or whatever, I used to tell my best friend, it doesn't matter that I'm going through this breakup because there's still women like the Wizard Liz out there. And he was like, you were literally in my head the ideal woman ever since I saw you online. And guys, for me, the exact thing that I wrote down in the manifestation journal of how I want my husband to be and all these things is literally my fiance.
Manifested, you mean planned? Yeah, I mean, can I be honest? She's just making a good case for stalkers. Like, the Joe from You, if you've seen that show, in the first season, or every time he gets a girl, he just stalks them, learns a lot about them and their interests and stuff, and then makes it sound like random chance. So essentially, this guy has just pulled that minus the serial killer, and it worked. So I guess just like, I'm not saying I'm not trying to make the wrong conclusion here, and I'm being facetious and being ironic, but there is some reality. We're not going to say stalking. We're going to say doing homework. If you do your homework on the girl, then maybe there will be some rewards on that. It's giving Hailey Bieber, bro. It is. That's what happened with her and Justin. Yeah, the way that the dad had set it up from the start, and all this like kind of stalking, but like you don't want to call it stalking because it makes like a negative implication, even though they're like a happy family, but like it kind of was. Yeah, no, that's like what it kind of is. Some men, I feel like impregnating you means that you've won at life because they're connected to you for life. Isn't that called like baby trapping?
Like to a T.
But I still, I mean, like, what she's saying is so funny, because if you can just make it sound like stalking and gathering intel on the girl that you want to marry is just like fate doing its work and like God playing his hand, that's just an infinite cheat code. Just make it sound like all of the stalking that you did is like just coincidental. Wait, you go to this coffee shop? I go to this coffee shop. No way. You also go to the same gym at 4 a.m. when it's just you there? So do I. Just make it all sound like it must be God. Yes, it's God. God did this. Praise God. No, I don't think that's what it is. I think that you've been on Insta. I think you've been using IP grabbers. I think you put something on her car. You put a little tracker. I don't know.
Even the thing about emotional intelligence and knowing how to be deep.
You've got to be kidding me, Liz. If a guy says, I manifested you, and you don't see that as a massive red flag, then you are beyond help. Any guy who's into that manifestation bullshit is either gay or trying to manipulate you. Clearly, he is just watching your videos and mirroring back exactly what you want to hear. That's why you said he fits you perfectly.
Yes, that's another thing. That's I've been telling my audience this forever. The trick of mirroring. If you just like ping pong everything that she says she's interested in, or like repeating what she says back to her, I mean, it's just kind of a cheat code. But you can't be obvious. Like, I like Game of Thrones. Me too. Like, you have to be smart about it. You know, you have to be specific and you have to be tactical. So this makes me understand this Landon guy. He is a smart fellow. That could be why he started his successful augmented reality startup. He knows how to augment reality in reality. So yeah, you got to be smart with this stuff. But the psychological manipulation, pretty easy.
Perfectly. All he had to do was watch your videos, memorize your interest, and pretend to be that person. It's not even that time consuming to watch everything you've made on YouTube. When I did my first piece of content on you, I was able to watch and timestamp 30 of your videos, which was every YouTube video that you had.
The thing that I've learned in my psychology classes in the past is that mirroring also happens naturally, subconsciously when you like someone. Oh yeah, because you'll lie. Like when you lie for someone you like to say that you enjoy the same thing, you're trying to replicate a similarity clause that doesn't exist.
The time, in just a couple of days. Imagine what a stalker can do with a couple of years. Though the best part of all of this is that now everyone can clearly see the advice that she gives about men is dog shit.
I need women to understand that men will say they want good women, but good women never get rewarded. It's always like, oh, I want a day one girl. I want a girl that has been there from the beginning. But those women get literally later on cheated on. Why is this? Because that's not the woman they want. That's the only woman they can get right now. Once they are at a level where they have the money, they want to spend their money on the fantasy woman, on the woman that they actually want. If you feel bad asking a man for anything, then you should think, if a man took out his celebrity crush, do you think that he would just take her out on a coffee date or something simple? No, best believe he would go all out trying to impress his celebrity crush. Why are you anything less?
Wait, no, but that wouldn't happen because it would be the opposite. Again, like, the change of pace would be the coffee date. The celebrity crush is experiencing lavish the entire life. It would be pitiful for you to try to replicate even 1/10 of what she's accomplished. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, Lana Del Rey dated a fucking, like, some random guy, like some random hick, right? They're probably living an interesting life where she takes her fishing. You know what I'm saying? I honestly would take my celebrity crush on, like, a coffee date or something because it's just like, oh, it's simple. You know, it's something that I'm not gonna try to replicate what she has already. Yo, what do you think about WestJet's take that everyone that watches streamers is a loser? I mean, I would understand if you're a sub like Landon, but like just watching, I don't know. I disagree with that because I watch streamers and I'm not a loser. Like, I mean, yeah, I have a weird job and I'm inside a lot, but I'm successful. I'm happy.
Seems like that's not the case because he still cheated on you, Liz. And if you don't want to become a single mother by two different men, then maybe you should focus more on the guy's character than whether he took you on a coffee date or not. I mean, from a practical standpoint, do you want your future husband to just be burning cash on random chicks that he's dating for a few months at a time? Or do you want the guy who goes on a coffee date and saves his wealth for his wife and his kids? This is why I say you should avoid women like Liz like the plague. They don't know anything about stable relationships. They just know, I want these shoes from Hermes. I swear this chick thinks like a prostitute.
Hermes is so fucking expensive.
Worse, 3 days or so before Liz found out that Landon was trying to cheat on her, they released this relationship Q&A to give marriage advice to her YouTube followers.
Dude, this sub is like crazy. Or sorry, these views are crazy, not the subs. Well, the subs are crazy. But even like the subs to views ratio, 2.6 million views. That's like a really active subscriber base.
As if these two tards know anything about that. They haven't even been together for a year and they weren't even legally married. But during this video, she insists that he wasn't stalking her, So let's hear her rebuttal as well as his side of the story.
And the thing I want to clarify, because a lot of people think that you stalked me.
Which is crazy, by the way. First got engaged and Liz posted that video, there were some comments that were like, I think this guy is like an upper stalker.
Her.
He like knew where she was gonna be.
My friend does not have social media. Like, she doesn't have Instagram, and I never ever post my location for safety reasons. So no way he could have known I'm in Athens, and especially there.
Oh, you naive child. I'm not going to be specific because I don't feel the need to give internet stalkers any ideas, but you can definitely make this happen with very little information on someone if you have the kind of money that Landon has and if you have some patience.
Yeah, you can just hire a PI.
Seeing that you guys talked before, he probably would have enough of your personal info to pull this off. And let this be a warning to all the princess treatment girlies out there. People who are rich can do a lot of crazy and unhinged things with their money. It can get very scary to attach yourself to someone with that much power if they turn out to be a nut job. So maybe consider that more than if he's willing to buy you whatever you want from Gucci or not.
I was just kind of following this path that led me into Ibiza last summer. And I ended up meeting some people that I was going to go to Mykonos with. And the people that I was staying with ended up trying to scam me a couple times. They successfully scammed like $20-something thousand. And whenever I landed in Athens, which is where I was connecting to go to Mykonos, that whole trip got canceled. Like, that part of it did. And I was like, you know what? Time to end my trip, go back to America. I went to go get my bags off the plane so they didn't go to Mykonos without me. And I realized I had left my backpack in a gate in airport security. And so I was like, wait, I really need that. I never lose this bag. So I went to go get my backpack. I get my bag. I start walking to leave the airport. And as I'm...
Dude, she looks like she's in love with him, though. Look at her. She's like staring at him the whole fucking time, like smiling and shit.
Walking, I try to be observant, but I'm like looking around, and then I walked a step and I felt
the moment I say that, she looks away.
I entered just like a new dimension, not to sound crazy. And then immediately I sensed that I need to look up right over here, and I look up and I see Liz sitting. She has a hat on.
Yeah, no, this guy's talking like one of these like astrology, like spiritual girls who can just like sounds more stalky than coincidental.
Had like a mask basically covering her face. She was eating food, so like I can't even really see her. She's sitting by her friend, and I thought, oh my god, that's Liz. And I recognized you. I had no idea. Like, I had never seen you before in person.
And I remember he was like, Liz?
Okay, so his version of the story sounds way more like stalking than what she said. Some random scammer tries to mess with him, his trip gets canceled, and because of that, he's free, and he forgot his backpack. Well, of course he forgot his backpack, because Liz wasn't at the gate she was supposed to be at, so he needed an excuse to walk throughout the airport to go look for her.
But in my head, I like adored you, to be honest. Like, every time that you would send me a message, I got just uniquely excited. The first time you ever sent me a voice message, I remember I was in the LA airport trying to fly home to Dallas, and I got a voice message from you, and that like really stuck with me, and I always thought about you in airports for some reason. So
ironically, this idealization statement about airports occurred.
How crazy is it that if he stalked her, he still ended up cheating on her? To put in all that work to lock it down just to give it up later is so interesting to me. This guy's like a fucked up dude. He's like a fucked up guy. He's like a demented fucking freak. It's all about power then, isn't it? It's like, what can I really do? How much can I like get done? It's just like a checklisting, like just maxing 100%ing life.
Immediately before Liz.
But it's not even 100%ing, because like 100%ing something requires a certain level of, like it's like you actually want 100% it, but it's just like he just wants to see if he can do it just to see if he can do it, which is interesting.
Denies the stalking allegations, and she doesn't connect the dots. And let me point out that Landon also has some sort of tech startup company for VR glasses or whatever. So if anyone is good enough with technology to know how to find out where Liz was flying, it would be Landon.
There was a moment where I was wanting to have more friends that were like-minded, more people in my life that are interested in manifestation and aware of energies and all of this. And so in my head, like, Liz was that person, and I wanted to just be friends with you, to be honest. And I told you that right away. I was like, hey, I'm trying to be, like, I want to be friends.
Yeah.
I mean, you also just wanted to be friends with that girl from Snapchat that you tried to meet up with.
You're also very honest.
Don't worry, in 3 days she'll see the irony of that statement. So Liz and Landon had this conversation after a very unlikely meeting. He says a bunch of nice things that she wants to hear, and since his plans were canceled, she invites him to stay with her in Greece. And then 36 hours into the stay, he says that he loves her.
You know, it's really hard to be vulnerable with anybody, especially if you've been shown time and time again that vulnerability is something that gets you hurt. And so, intimacy is directly, a necessity of intimacy is vulnerability.
Yeah, he really taught me that. Who said I love you first?
Oh my God. I told this woman that I loved her within 36 hours of knowing her. And I literally told her within 36 hours, I was like, look, this is going to sound like a lot and I'm sorry because I know it's weird, but I know I'm supposed to marry you. And that's weird as heck, but...
Yeah. I thought you just wanted to be friends. We go from friends to let's get married in less than 2 days. I thought you just wanted to be friends. We go from friends to let's get married in less than 2 days. That's a really fast-moving friendship. I mean, at that speed, he could have been married to that Snapchat chick by the time that Liz got back from London. The fact that this wasn't a red flag to Liz means that she really doesn't know anything about relationships. It makes sense why she gives so much terrible advice for how to select partners. It's even worse because she said she was going to therapy. Did she tell her therapist about this? Did she tell anyone about her relationship who could have said, hey, maybe this isn't such a good idea? It looks like she didn't. It looks like she wanted the title of wife so badly that not only did she lie to her audience about being married, but also felt like it was okay to rush through any safety measure that would prevent a relationship with an abuser.
I also feel like the reality is when you have someone who's obsessed with like energy and aura and manifesting stuff, I feel like that sort of supersedes any advice from a therapist. You're going to take the aura and stuff like you're reading on someone's aura and shit like that, certainly more importantly, and certainly you're going to take that to be more than what the therapist is saying.
So after everything went down, Landon went onto his Instagram to say his piece about the cheating event.
Look, I'm not going to come on here and ask for your forgiveness.
The marriage was a Muslim marriage, by the way.
I'm just going to come on here and ask for understanding because I made a mistake, but that doesn't mean that I don't love Liz. I love her with my entire heart, and we have a baby on the way. And over the last 10 months, I have done everything I can to give this person all that I can and to make her happy and do all of this. And regardless of how much I care, I made a mistake.
He doesn't give a shit. This is not even a good sell. This guy was a big YouTuber, and he couldn't even sell this. Part of the YouTube job is acting. I know he didn't care that much about Fortnite. He's pretending to care about Fortnite. At least pretend to care that you fucking cheated. At least get up on here and say, yeah, I made a serious and continuous lapse in my judgment. That's insane.
I love Liz more than I could even put words to. And
Muslim marriage, but 4 months pregnant, so halal mode.
I've shown her this, and I've tried my best to make her feel safe and happy and protected, and I'm taking accountability regardless.
He doesn't give a shit.
This is not something that I want to promote.
Why does it look like he's about to record a movie on his phone at the movie theater? Yeah, he does look like one of these like anonymous hacker types with the hood up inside. He looks like he's about to like hack. He looks like he's about to get on his computer and like IP grab someone. Like you'd hire this motherfucker to like DDoS someone against you in your rank game.
Promote or make seem like I identify with. This is not who I want to be, and I'm sorry.
Bro is trying to give an apology while trying to look like a Marvel villain. But this relationship wasn't even a year old. You weren't even past the honeymoon phase, and you're already looking for other women. I don't think an apology can be accepted right now. This is who you are. You aren't fit for a relationship. Well, I don't think that Liz is fit for one either, but I guess in this case, she is the more innocent party. Anyway, everyone thought that this part of the Q&A was funny.
But I would say it's not a great message. It's honestly a toxic message. This thing I've seen people saying of like, oh, you can never trust a man. Like, never trust your husband. Like, he may just cheat on you. You never know. It's like, at the end of the day, the man and the woman have to be trusting each other. It's
this is milk. It's milk. It's aged like milk.
If the person is going to choose someone else over you, like that defeats the whole point. But forgiveness is a big thing. So if you have ever had a trust issue come up, you got to learn how to forgive and work through that. Otherwise, that'll just turn into crippling insecurity that you suffer with.
Depends what the trust issue was. If the person is like texting other people.
Yeah, well, there's different like degrees of severity for sure.
Man, this is like watching a movie where you already know who the killer is. There's so much foreshadowing where Landon tells on himself by accident. Though on a more serious note, I think one of the girls following this had some pretty good advice.
People are idolizing Liz and saying things like, oh my god, she's such a goddess, she seems to have it all, so if a woman like her gets cheated on, it means that I'm probably doomed and I've lost hope in love and men will never be loyal to me. Here is the thing, idolization is an ego trick. It is a way we try to soothe our own fear, our own imperfections by placing someone else on a pedestal. Because if they seem too perfect, then you would think that perfection is possible. If they fall, then we get to give up too. But that is not growth, that is escapism. And the truth here is, I don't think that anyone is perfect at all. Not Liz, not your favorite
I mean, this is like obvious, right?
influencer.
He made another Instagram story basically saying he didn't feel enough love and validation, basically blaming Liz, saying she caused the cheating. By the way, very sorry for this freeze frame. But yeah, I think that's such cope. Like, blaming it on someone else is just like, how about you voice the problems and try to fix them instead of just using that as justification to do something bad. Like, that is a self-snitch, right? Like, when you're doing something like that and you're basically saying like, oh, I wasn't getting what I needed, so I did this bad thing. It almost sounds like you wanted that stuff to happen to justify you cheating. Right? Like, that's what it seems like. And that's why I don't trust it. It just seems like, you know, he already had his goal in mind. He just wanted a reason to go for it.
Not your favorite celebrity, not even you.
Yeah, Liz is not a goddess. She was a dumb 22-year-old who got a bunch of plastic surgery because she knows that people care far more about her appearance than they care about whatever advice she's giving. But for me, these days, it's getting harder and harder for me to relate to the viewer on this because I've been in this business long enough to see that creators are just regular messed up people. Just like the people that you know in your personal life, except everyone treats them like they're gods. This is a mistake. Like,
I have lost no belief in love. Well, my parents started as friends and I've been married for 30 plus years. I don't base my love conceptions on random people on the internet. I base it on successful relationships. IRL, I see full of understanding and commitment to making it work. Yeah, I do think that there's a lot of like doomsday propaganda about the current state of relationships online, and that happens on both sides. I think that the black pill stuff about relationships, it is harder than ever. 100%. I still don't think that that's an excuse to make it so that you shouldn't play the game at all. It's really hard, so I won't do it. Okay, but you have to do hard things. Working out is hard. Getting shredded like a god is hard. You should still try it. Making a lot of money is really hard, but you should still try it. Like, getting a house is really fucking hard. It's hard to get a house now. Harder to get a house now than it was in all of human history, right? What, are you just not gonna get a fucking house? What, are you just not gonna get love? These are basic human necessities, and you need to do them. Okay, grow up and lock in. I'm not gonna not sympathize with it being hard. I know it's hard. I'm Gen Z. I've talked about it nonstop how hard it is. But still.
Like that girl said, content creators are not perfect. They are just as flawed and messed up as you are, often more messed up because they were crazy enough to think that tons of people would want to hear what they have to say.
That's true.
As for Liz, I think she misrepresents a lot of stuff about herself, and I don't think people should take it lightly when she tells her followers to lie to their significant other so they can fleece them for more money. I think Liz thinks that way for a reason, and as I said in a prior video, I'm pretty certain that Liz was a sex worker before she got famous. In fact, sex workers seem to be extremely common in the spoiled girly influencer crowd. More specifically, I think Liz was a sugar baby, and to summarize a prior video on why I think that, I believe this is the case because she had a very weird story about how she met her first boyfriend at 19, and he was a multimillionaire, which probably means that he was 10, 20, 30 years older than her. And she and her sister admitted on a podcast before the engagement to Landon that she was dating guys who are a lot older. The more suspicious part is that she said she didn't really have any access to wealth in her home country, so how would she meet a man who could fly her out to Dubai with that kind of money? Well, a sugar baby website like Seek an Arrangement would make that very simple. If that's not enough evidence, she also said during the Q&A that all of her exes were ugly.
Oh, I love the way you look. Oh my god, guys, for the first time in my life, someone told me that my partner looks good. I'm not used to people telling me that my partner looks good at all because I really don't go for looks in a partner. That's the least thing I ever have cared about.
She's like,
something crazy happened.
The craziest thing ever. Like, somebody just told me that you're handsome.
But I
realized that you're handsome now. I was like,
No, I knew you were handsome, but I always think that my partners are handsome. Mm-hmm. But no one else thinks that.
She thinks they were attractive because they were buying her $20,000 handbags. After that, Landon...
The specific Hermes Birkin Noir Togo is around 13K. Oh, nice.
And says
Hermes.
I think this is your first real relationship, to be honest.
But for me, like...
Just got back. You're still in the video. It's almost done.
The relationship I had before that, I saw as my first real relationship because that was the first time I spent every day with a man.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it's fucking crazy. Like, I mean, I that's nice to hear that she doesn't go for looks. She only goes for money, which is, that sounds crazy. Okay, chat, I'm gonna ask you guys, what would you rather? Would you rather a woman go for you for your looks or for your money? Looks you didn't earn, but the attraction is kind of authentic. Money you did earn, but the attraction is inauthentic. I don't know what I'd go for. Maybe looks. I mean, not like when I say authentic attraction, not that the looks thing will actually allow for a good relationship, but she actually like wants to fuck. Like, you know how many like women will fuck guys who just have money who they don't actually care about? That's something that is certainly, you know, like a thing. Let's finish this up.
Our relationship was like really not like how it's supposed to be.
It wasn't
like
really
now
emotionally there. Yeah.
We were both emotionally very cold, so there was no kissing, there was no like hugging, there was not really nice words. It was more like a best friend type of relationship where you're just hanging out.
That is weird as hell. I'm guessing she didn't want to touch them because she wasn't actually interested.
Yeah,
she just wanted their money.
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of weird stuff around Liz. I don't think she gets attention from rich men because her energy is vibrating at a high level. I think she gets attention from them because she's a sex worker. So be careful about idolizing the people you watch online, or be careful about saying that it's all over and all men are evil because of something that happened to an influencer who is being incredibly stupid with how she handled her relationship. Nobody is perfect, everyone is flawed, and the journey of life is trying to make yourself one step better than you were yesterday. Anyway, thanks for watching, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Banger. He does it again. That's the boy, think before you sleep. That was a great video. Amazing fucking video.